Thank you. Good evening, Friday evening. I'll make this quick and it'll be interesting, so don't worry. We heard the word agent a lot. There are a lot of agent. A lot of agents in banking as well. They sell you stuff. But you always wonder, like, there's a broker. No broker was here. Agent पैसा लेता है, agent देता है. If you're a homeowner, agent पैसा देता है. If you're a renter like me, वो लेता है. So in this session, I will try and figure out what is this agent, and can this agent make you money, right? Make you money autonomously using data that we actually have today with HDFC Bank, right? And this is beyond the hype. What I would say, I was very curious to see what is it that you can do in growth, right? The growth is one area which is, can this agent make you money and grow your business? Or second is very well established, you can cut your cost. Video creation, audio creation, creatives. You can definitely cut your cost, right? So it's a bit of a sharp thought, but data is actually real. I've hidden what I can't share. This is for any friend from abroad. I think Indians know this pretty well, right? So I don't want to spend too much time on this. It's a backstory because it has to make sense, right? Suddenly I can't be doing agent and all. It doesn't make sense. Let me give you a very quick backstory, right? We are all having a salary mostly. If you're a partner or if you are from the agency side, if you run a business, you have a current account. You know the banking story, okay? 2018, e-commerce happened. Digital banking started. Microservices became a thing in banking. So you had APIs through which you could give services to customers at the end, right? And Aadhaar came, so that makes everything became digital. You could sit at home and do stuff. Pandemic completely, if you remember, changed this as well. You could do everything from home. Now, when something like that happens, what does a marketeer do? I think Monica spoke about in the morning. Marketeers look at growth, look at business. The next impact event that MMA is doing is about growth and about how marketing is a revenue driver, right? So this is what we did when 2018 and the digital stack in India appeared, right? We said, boss, can marketing contribute to business directly? Okay. And over time, can you do 25% of a large retail bank, like a HDFC Bank, all credit cards, all loans, except for home loan, difficult process. Can you sell everything D2C? Board was not actually coined, I mean, it was coined, but it was not commonplace that time. Because I said, can you sell straight to the customer from marketing? No commission involved, no agent, no salesperson, right? That was the ambition. What that means and that meant in banking was basically this. As a marketer, you know how to generate traffic, you're very, very good at it. MarTech was coming in, you could personalize, again, traffic, and then how to take the juice out of this traffic that you were generating. And journeys is something that they use in banking and finance. Is that how is the onboarding process? Is it seamless? Is it digital? Is it paperless? And so on and so forth. So these three things we thought if you could manage, you could achieve this giant goal of doing 25% of cross-sell business of a large bank, right? As marketing, right? So we started here at A. Generally, so this I'll have to explain this for a bit. So this is my understanding of how digital transformation happens. You do something and you get to this point, but you hit a bottleneck. You do something here, you hit a bottleneck. So we would do a lot of personalization, a lot of traffic generation. We would come here to here, right? You start your SEO, you start your marketing, and so on and so forth. But you get stuck. You get stuck because the next transformation is required, which is Aadhaar there? Can you book it from your home? Can you actually underwrite, say, boss, diye paisa wapas aayega mere paas, the guy will not run around. Can you do it instantly? So that is where you get stuck. This is how digital transformation classically happens across industries. Banking is no different, right? So as you kill bottlenecks, you can increase direct contribution to business. And this is how we actually were approaching it, right? What we did, very simple. Digital sales stack. Take your bank API, put a nice front end UI on top of it, measure it with analytics, personalize it. If there's a drop-off, remarket to it, and so on and so forth. Make the stack, right? Personalize, measure, retarget, and over time you iterate your journeys and your communication. Obviously, you get growth. Marketers know that funnel, it's automatic, it just works, right? So we did that. And this happened, this is the outcome. That actually happened a few years ago. Let's go ahead and play this. This audio.
Pleasantly surprised to see how easy it is to get an HDFC Bank.
No audio?
It's even easier than ordering this pizza online. Let me show you how. Go to HDFC Bank Expressway and look for Express Credit Card application. Fill in your phone number, date of birth, and confirm it with the OTP received. Post OTP confirmation, you get to see customized recommendation of cards most suitable for you. Compare the benefits, select the card that you like, and confirm some important details. Verify your application using net banking or your HDFC Bank debit card. And your credit card is ready to be shipped. Isn't this pleasantly surprising? Go ahead, surprise yourself today with HDFC Bank Expressway.
So it's very simple. I think some of you may have actually taken this process. We're a large bank. I would not be surprised that, right? But for marketeers, this was a big deal, right? I mean, now you're used to it, okay? You do it everything online. But for us, the ambition of being a direct business contributor in a large organization, we were marching towards it because of the simple thing, right? And it takes a lot of effort to do. It took us about 3 to 4 years to do it, right? But we again started marching toward this goal. Can we do direct to consumer business in a large retail bank and be a huge proportion of a 2 lakh large organization, right? We got started, right? So this is what happened. Some data, right? A 300-member marketing team was doing 10% of all personal loan sales for a large retail bank in India. 15% of all credit cards. Mind you, the bank is about 100,000 people, right, of sales force. 300 people were doing this. So what does it mean? It means every marketing employee had actually 10x the productivity of a typical sales guy. And if you don't have a salesperson, if you don't have an agent, if you don't have a bank bazaar, policy bazaar in the middle, you don't pay a commission, right? So the cost of acquisition was only 1/5 of physical. So we're very proud of this. You take your marketing, apply a little bit of digital transformation, and then you get this. And if you look at that, our dashboards look like this, right? Look at the number of commas and zeros. We deal in thousands and thousands of crores. Sitting at home, our dashboards as marketeers are running like this. And it was fascinating to see. And we still see it, and it's like a drug. Every morning we wake up and see what the number is, right? Great. That happened. But as digital transformations go, you hit a plateau again. Again, there's a plateau, right? So then what do? Then you say, okay, what is my next digital transformation? Obvious, right? So the earlier guy had traffic, personalization, journey, digital transformation. Any guesses what he has? Yeah, obvious answer. So now let's look at the numbers. I woke up at 4 in the morning today, okay? I've not slept. I will try to do numbers. Hopefully I don't screw it up, but I did the math. Of if there is an optimization process that is happening, and you really scale it, not through automation, but very autonomous. What metrics, KPIs, numbers I think you will come up with. Let's see. Okay? What is the magic of AI in autonomy? This guy right here, iterate. We all do optimization in marketing, but this guy is something that takes a whole bunch of time, in my view. And it frustrates a lot of CMOs, chief business officers, chief growth officers, that why can't my teams iterate faster in optimization? Like really, really fast, right? But it's not possible. It's not possible with content. It's so easy to generate, right? It's the most obvious thing to think. Let me now go back. This is an example, it's actual data. I'm hiding it because I can't reveal everything. So if you retarget a customer with across our suite of products, we had a few thousand triggers. I won't reveal how many, but few thousand triggers. And these triggers, because we were already at about double-digit proportion of banks' total cross-sell, these triggers itself was 3% of the business of a large bank. This is automation. The automated set it and forget it campaign that keeps on running, right? Now this obvious question, how do you now use AI to jumpstart this, right? You always do A/B tests. What is the communication? What is the copy? How does the landing page look like? Right? Is it personalized to what extent? Right? So what we noticed is that you could A/B test these triggers, and the success it was about 50%. 50% of the times, the test B, the experiment will actually perform higher than the original, right? And average lift on those 50% of the times is 10%. So you can imagine, if it's 10,000, then 5,000 actually got a lift of 10%, right? I know it's mathematics, but hopefully it's making sense, right? So what a normal person will then start thinking, what if I can iterate all 10,000 and get a 10% lift every time for half of my campaigns, right? That's the question I ask myself. What if that happens? Then what do you get? This is what I think we'll end up doing, right? And this is the surprising part. If you do one test in the overall 3% business that we're getting from remarketing, you'll get very, very small lift. Overall, all the thousands of triggers that you've run. What is the bottleneck? One iteration of one test takes a whole bunch of time. Thousands of tests will take you 3 years to do. But now what AI does, it sends the underperforming one, gets a new creative, new copy, puts it out, and then starts measuring and sees the lift. So with AI, now I think you can do this 10,000 tests within 3 months. So this 10% lift on every other campaign would have taken 3 years is now possible in just 3 months. What does that mean? A lot of people don't understand the opportunity lost question, right? You say, okay, yaar, bahut kam hai, kitna hai? What is this? 5% on 3%, 0.21%. The idea is that lift of a few percentage points over a 2-year period, 2 year 9 months that you have saved is an incremental run rate that you could not have earlier met. And you are now able to do it, right? The opportunity loss argument. This is why AI is important, and like the folks said, do it now, do it right now. Because if you don't do it now and do it later, that lift that you could have had now, you'll have it later and then the opportunity is gone, right? I'll be honest with you, the lift here is about 0.25% in the overall business, what the D2C business that I told you about, right? In one iteration. At HDFC Bank scale, that 2.25% of autonomous marketing running a lift of 0.2% over a business of almost 25% is actually a huge amount of money. It's thousands of crores in loans, right? But how do you increase that from 0.25%? You just add more. What we were looking at was the remarketing triggers, right? There's much more out there, and they can follow the same autonomy and autonomous feedback loop, right? Reinforcement learning was in AI and data science for God knows how many years. This is exactly the same thing, but in a MarTech stack, right? It's exactly the same thing. So you then scale the way to that lifts will plateau. I know that, everyone knows that. When you do a lot of churning, and performance marketing has taught us this in the past, the lift will plateau beyond a point. So what you do, you create more opportunities for you to hit that plateau. So you put it on all campaigns, not just retargeting. Everything, all channels, all content, all products, all landing pages, all processes, segment creation, right? The way you talk about something on your landing page, personalize everything, A/B test everything, optimize everything. My view is, and when I churn the numbers, you can actually hit a plus 5% upside on the D2C business of HDFC Bank in a period of 1 year. It is crazy, but I think that's what my early numbers tell me. I'll go and validate this again, but that's crazy. I mean, my mind was blown that this is actually possible today. I will attempt this, right? Of course, you need the scale of a large organization to achieve this. A small organization, you will not get this. These are the caveats. AI will obviously, optimization cannot happen endlessly. You will hit, so you have to hit that peak where it stops, and then you have to expand the scope. That's the only way to grow, right? Now, is the SIP of market. I call it SIP. I'm from bank. SIPs give you great compound interest returns, retirement plans. You just forget about it. Just set it up and forget about it. See 20 years later. Same thing here. It will autonomously compound. This is my view, because that's what the 5% number is coming. It's huge, right? This is something every marketer will end up doing. And people who are saying that people will lose jobs, no. You will be monitoring this. You'll be approving the thousands of ad copies, thousands of landing page copies, thousands of creatives. That's what you will do and we will monitor, right? That's my view. But this is very, very exciting. Okay. Now, this is where we end up. Finally, in 2025, the new digital transformation is AI-led iteration of content and a railroad of direct business. If you ask a Myntra, if you ask a Flipkart, they know the value of this. Optimizing ad copy, landing page, the image, the subline, and so on and so forth, right? Because they have a direct railroad of direct business. Now in banking also, because you have so many communications, so many iterations, so many credit card variants, we're able to tell this also now. And we have huge scale, right? Now behind hype, this is the real value of what we feel in banking is the value of AI. Iteration, experimentation, and lifts in a direct-to-consumer business model within banking, right? Now, why won't it happen in most organizations? This is very important to understand. This theory is great. Someone smiling. Yeah, you see how the story has ups and downs. This will not happen in most organizations. And anyone in the marketing organization will totally relate to this. Okay? In the next 3 minutes, let me break it down. AI will tell the marketer what to do, and the marketer will then set the campaign up. Not autonomous. Will not achieve scale. Will not hit that goodness of compounding over thousands of iterations. It will not happen, right? You have to automate everything. A lot of companies still do not automate everything. They still go by gut. They wake up in the morning, I'll run this, press the button. No, not allowed. You will not get value from AI if you do that. You have to automate every single thing. When you automate every single thing, then there's a possibility of becoming autonomous with a feedback loop, right? With a learning feedback loop. It keeps on learning, right? So it's ridiculously difficult to ensure everything is automated, but we have to do it. Otherwise, AI will not give you value. Not possible, is my view, right? Like A/B testing and experimentations, we all know the value. Companies don't do it. The culture does not exist in India, is my view. Very few companies do it like clockwork. Very, very few. Agencies do it. We know that in performance because they have a percentage. So they have ROAS over their next. They do it. Organizations in their own platforms, A/B testing is very, very bad. This is iteration, that is experiments, and then scaling what is working, right? If you don't have experimentation culture, dead on arrival. Not possible, right? This data-driven culture is difficult to build, but we will all have to build it. Otherwise, AI will not work for us, at least in this way. Each channel works independently. Most marketers know this. So if an experiment, the algorithm works on one channel, the way to achieve scale and that lift across all channels is to propagate it. Across all 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, whatever you have. Doesn't happen in companies. A lot of smiles. Doesn't happen. Everyone does their own show. Right? Org silos will kill AI, is my view. Completely kill AI. Channel silos, definitely. Product silos also. Different products, different funnel. Why? The brand is the same. You can't have different funnels for every product, right? So these silos need to be broken. This is not an average marketer's job. Someone who's like a little junior sitting here, not your job, but organization has to help you in this. Otherwise, you will not learn anything from AI. There will be no ROI in your organization through AI, right? This is why I thought, I guess after the morose sort of tone, let's look at the good part, right? Here's the good part. And you heard the story before, the backstory. This is why I told you the backstory. Growth hacking in 2020, for someone like me, was talking to product, technology, compliance, operations, risk, fraud risk, information security, and 14 other departments, bureaucracies, points of views, alignment. So difficult, right? Now you saw an example where someone is claiming and saying you can increase the D2C business of HDFC Bank, a large retail unit, by 5% through AI and autonomous AI and iterations. Which are the teams involved? Marketing automation, marketing culture, marketing org design. Could be the CBO, could be Chief Growth Officer. But it's all in one department now because of AI. And that is the big mind-blowing thing now. The digital transformation can happen through AI and happen much faster. You don't have to go fight with 20 departments. It starts and ends in one department, right? And that's a good part. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Deepak. Of course, a great session from you. Maybe now request Goodies Narayanan to please join us back, the Advisor X APAC CMO Coursera, to please help us with the token of appreciation to Deepak. Ladies and gentlemen, a warmer round of applause for our speaker. Well, it's all happening at the 5th edition of Data Unplugged, and we just had Deepak Oram, who joined us, Senior Vice President Growth Marketing and Martech of HDFC Bank. Thank you so much, Deepak, for your valuable inputs today. And thank you, Goodies, for joining us on the same.